Yeah.
Good morning. Mary Pat McKee here with Indy Boomer Magazine Show. So glad to have you with us this morning. I am sitting here this morning with Alicia Harvey, who is with Home Instead, and we are going to talk to her in just a few minutes about Home Instead and some of the services they provide up here in Hamilton County. First of all, we always want to thank Jim Wofford, Logan Street Signs and Banners, Wofford Theater for allowing us to have this Indy Boomer show. We are very grateful for that. And also, we want to make sure everybody has gotten a copy of the January issue of Indy Boomer Magazine. Our next issue will come out in March. We're very excited. It's going to be Larry Bird. And very excited that, well, let me back up just a moment. On the January cover, you will notice Patty Spittler with about 5 other seasoned baby boomer reporters. The show will start on Channel 8 March 1st, Sunday, March 1st at 10:30 a.m. on Wish, Boomer TV. And we are very excited. We finally, last week, were able to get Larry Bird lined up for an interview. So he will be on the first show as well, and it'll go with the magazine. It's a beautiful thing. What can we do? Alicia, excited to have you here today.
Thank you. To be here.
Home Instead, known Home Instead for years. You guys have been around for a long, long time. Yes. They provide a great service. They are home health. Non-medical?
Non-medical, so we're strictly non-medical in all the services that we do. But we provide a large range of services.
Sure.
So things like transportation, meal preparation, we do all housekeeping, we can do hands-on bathing and toileting, including bed-bound care.
Okay.
Also, so any of the services in order to keep seniors in their own home instead of them having to go elsewhere, and they can be safe there also. So.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, and on Indy Boomer show here, we've talked many, many times about the controversy leaving mom and dad at home, taking them to retirement community. There's a lot of advantages, and a lot of people, and I believe it as well, it's good to keep them at home.
It is. That's where they're most comfortable. That's where they want to stay also, and they seem to stay healthier longer in their own home, comfortable environment.
Right.
So.
That's exactly right. So you are, what area do you cover?
We cover all of Hamilton and Boone County.
Oh, okay. You're Boone County as well?
We go all the way to Boone County as well.
Okay. But I know Home Instead's been around forever, so really you could find them in other places in Indianapolis as well.
They
right?
are. There are territories all over, including Indianapolis, South Indianapolis. So any area you're in within Indiana, if we don't cover it, there's another territory department that does. So.
Okay. Well, as everybody knows, there's a lot of home health agencies out there. What makes Home Instead different from them?
I would say our extensive training program. We spend a lot of time making sure that they are prepared and trained, especially with Alzheimer's and dementia, because that's coming up more and more now. We make sure that they go through a full training class with that. They also go through an aging process where they know all the different disabilities and how to handle those too.
Okay.
A safety class as well. We also offer a shadow program where they go out and they shadow with an existing caregiver.
Oh, great.
So we just make sure they're prepared before they get out there. We have a bedroom set up where we practice transfers, so we just make sure we provide that ongoing training so everyone gets the best care.
Right. You know, that's you mentioned something there about Alzheimer's, and what kind of training, I mean, Alzheimer's, you know, a lot of times it's hard to detect.
Yes.
You know, and you usually have to go to the doctor and stuff. But do you train your folks when they're taking care of people in their homes of things to look for?
We do. With the training, we typically do a 2-day training and then ongoing training also where we look for any of the signs, whether it's just a form of dementia or if it is Alzheimer's.
Right.
So we have them look for all the signs, and then also ways to talk to the family members about that too, because that can be kind of a delicate situation. And then how to handle the signs and redirect and just make sure that person is safe at home and still living comfortably and
right.
happy too. So.
Well, and you know, somebody, I apologize, I don't recall who mentioned this to me, but the thing with Alzheimer's is that if you detect it early, you can learn what those person's likes and dislikes are, so when they get to a point when they're not able to communicate, you know where I'm going with this.
We do.
Okay.
We just make sure that we get as much information, even from that client or maybe from the family members,
right.
what they used to like to do, because a lot of times they will go back to, if they were a stay-at-home mom, they enjoy doing, folding laundry and things like that, and that will help redirect them when they do advance, or if they like certain smells or certain foods. We make sure we know all of that, and so when they do advance to the stage where they can't communicate that, we are still able to carry out those types of things for
Right.
them. So.
Well, and the other thing is with Alzheimer's is it's obviously very progressive.
It is.
It could be a long time. So there's no reason with assistance
Right.
that somebody couldn't stay in their home.
No.
As long as you know what those trigger things are.
Yes, exactly. And that's part of what we teach with the class is that if someone does have kind of a trigger, about how to redirect that. And that's where we take from the background information and what we can do to make sure that they are happy and that they don't become frustrated. A part of the class is also working with the family members to make sure that they don't become overwhelmed, because it can be very overwhelming for the
yes.
caregiver.
Yes.
So we offer family caregiving classes, for Alzheimer's as well.
That's another big topic with boomers. A lot of us are caregivers.
Yes.
In some respect or another. And how important it is to take care of the caregiver.
Yes, that's big. We see that quite often where, the family member that's taking care of them gets burned out and then they become ill themselves. So it's very important for both of them to make sure they don't have that burnout level and that both the client and the family member is taken care of. So.
Right. And to know and to help them maybe know when to pull back.
Yes. Yeah.
Because
and that
they
can be
want to
hard.
do so much, it's their mom or their dad or a close, person, and they just, don't feel like anybody else can do it, and they got to know that they need help.
And it's not good if they're not feeling well. They're not going to be able to help anyone, and so we can come in to just give them some relief, some respite care in order for them to have a break or just spend time with their kids, because a lot of times we see people that have younger kids themselves. They're working full time, and then they're also trying to care for their loved one that might have some sort of illness, including dementia or Alzheimer's.
Right. And as they say, the baby boomer generation is the sandwich generation.
It is.
So
yes.
we've got it going from both sides there. Tell me a little bit more in depth, if you would. So Home Instead comes into the home and helps the families. Tell me some examples.
We go in, typically when someone calls, it's usually a loved one, a family member. Sometimes the client themselves will call us, but we go in and we do what's called an assessment, find out all the resources, all of their needs. We make sure that it's something we're able to help them with, and then look for other resources, whether if they need equipment, then we can bring in other people in there. And we can provide any time that they would need. So we have caregivers around the clock, 24 hours a day, whether they need someone overnight so they can get a good night's sleep, or if they need someone to do help with the transportation to doctor's appointments because maybe they're working during the day. So we can do that, as well as providing medication reminders so that they're on track with their medication, or if they need a bath in the morning. A lot of times we have someone call us for help with giving them meal preparation, breakfast in the morning, medication, and then help with bathing as well. So, or just the safety observation, the comfort of having someone check in on them.
Right.
We do have a lot of loved ones that are out of state, so they might have us come in 3 times a week just to be there, make sure that we can give them feedback on how their loved one's doing also.
Okay. Is Home Instead a national company?
It is.
Oh,
It's
is it?
worldwide.
Okay, I wasn't
There's
sure.
over
And
1,000,
worldwide.
1,000 different franchises all over the world. So
Okay.
Japan and Ireland, so we're all over the place.
Well, we get an occasional viewer from Australia or something, so it's good to know that there's.
They are. They're all over the place. Yes.
I'm teasing you. Hey, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
When Margaret and I decided to sell the old estate here, we had only one choice in signage. Logan Street signs and banners. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore, but rather located on 10th Street on the south side of Noblesville. Well, we sold the old beauty, and we were able to buy this wonderful estate. And we had so much money left over, I was able to buy this beautiful 1968 Eldorado Cadillac for Margaret. Only 472,000 miles. Margaret loves it because it's got those big seats and that heavy-duty suspension to support her svelte frame. Next time you're looking for signs or banners, call old Jim at Logan Street Signs and Banners, 773-7200. Conveniently not located on Logan Street anymore.
Everyone knows it's easy to find first-run movies in the big theaters. But where can you go to watch your favorite classic movies on the big screen for the perfect night out? Why rent a flick when you can rent the entire theater? Call today to reserve our 32-seat theater for your next event or just stop by to see what's showing this weekend. The 14 by 7 foot screen and the high quality digital surround sound system offers all the amenities you would expect from the big theaters with a laid back atmosphere and comfortable seating of your own home. Wofford Theater at 1744 South 10th Street in Noblesville gives you the classic movies you want with a big theater experience.
Are we back? We're back. Good morning. Mary Pat McKee here with the Indy Boomer Show. I'm sitting here with Alicia Harvey, who is with Home Instead. We have been having a conversation about Home Instead, keeping your loved ones at home, and that kind of information. Before we go too much further, though, I want to just reiterate again, January's issue of Indy Boomer magazine is out. You can go to our website, indyboomer.com, and pick up the digital version there, or there's several different places in Hamilton County you can pick them up. They're at the library, there's some of the coffee shops, just different places to look it out, but you can always for sure go to the website, indyboomer.com. Speaking of which, I was talking on break with Alicia. Alicia, how can people get a hold of you?
They can contact us 24 hours a day. We always have someone that's on call, so even if it's the evening or the weekend, you can call. It's our number, and that'll reach anytime. It's 317-774-1750. Or you can, if you're just looking for information, you can visit our website at homeinstead.com. Since there are a lot of different territories, you can put in any area you're looking for, and that'll pull up the correct area that you're in, which again, we cover all of Hamilton and Boone County area.
Okay. But as Home Instead, as a company, covers the world.
It does. So even if you aren't looking around this area, you can put in whatever location, and it'll pull up that specific franchise's information and contact information.
Yeah, because to be honest with you, I don't know really of any other home health, non-medical that's global.
Yes, yeah, we're one of the only global, and then we're soon to also be offering a medication too, whereas we can do medication reminders, but we're also branching out, and they're going to have a company where they can do pill boxes that are delivered to, which would be an extra added service.
Oh, no, that's a good one, though, because, I forget, heck, I'm only 55, and I forget, did I take my medicine this morning?
Exactly.
But anyway, that's probably going to get worse before it gets better. Anyway, hey, one thing we wanted to talk about, because I think it's important, and I'm sure it's a balancing act. Tell us about, do you need caregivers? If you do, how do they get to you? And tell me about that.
We are always accepting applications. We always want to make sure that we can staff every shift. So we hire caregivers that are available, overnights, whether it be just one day a week or just a weekend shift or even one day a month. We are very flexible with our scheduling. You do not have to have any background medical experience either. We do all of our own training. So if you are interested at all, what you can do is just call that same number, that 317-774-1750, and talk to us. We can let you know where you can come in to apply, or we can send you to our website, which is the same website, homeinstead.com, and you would just click to become a caregiver.
Okay. And you talked a little bit about in the first segment, what kind of training is involved with your folks?
Again, it's very extensive, where we make sure that we train on the different aging processes, the different disorders. We also do kind of a simulator where we have them put on gloves and glasses, so we simulate the aging process and how it looks for someone that has maybe glaucoma, or if they have arthritis, and how it feels to write. So we have them
like a virtual reality?
Yes, like a virtual training, so they can feel what it's like, so they can better care for that patient. And then we do offer the dementia training. We also have a new hospice training we offer too, so they're prepared if someone's on hospice and kind of know the signs and symptoms for that as well.
You don't do hospice.
We do not. We work with hospice.
But you know how to look for it and when to tell the family maybe you need to be getting hospice.
Exactly. And a lot of times we'll still be in there with hospice, so we will be able to know what to do with with bed-bound care. We have a full bedroom set up where we practice all of that.
Right.
And then offer ongoing workshops on oxygen or different disorders like MRSA, things like that. So they are really prepared on everything that's going on.
MRSA's a big one when they go in the hospital. It's the new staph infection, isn't it? Or it's terrible.
It's really common, and it's active as soon as they go in the hospital or to a facility. It's easy to catch, so we make sure all of our caregivers are trained on what to look for and then how to protect themselves too.
Well, I know, unfortunately, recently I was in the hospital and they did the MRSA test to make sure that you're not carrying it, or I don't know what they were doing, but anyway, I didn't have it. Thank goodness.
Good. Yeah.
Hey, question, and I just found out about this. I think it's really, really cool. Is they now have virtual reality for Alzheimer's?
They do, and actually there are
Have you
some
seen
homes,
that?
home insteads, and we have not started that, but we're going to start that too.
Okay.
Where they actually were going into the facilities or doing family workshops and simulating that for Alzheimer's and what it's like for someone that has Alzheimer's, and then it will help better educate family members and caregivers on what they're going through and why they are responding to certain things. So we're starting that as soon too. So.
Right, I know, but to me that just seems very, very scary.
Yes, it is, because they're going through a lot that you don't even think about, and they would, that shows us kind of how they're responding and why they're responding to certain things.
And I think my father had Alzheimer's, and I think it's very important to know because he would say yes all the time. I just found out, he's passed now, I just found out why he was saying yes all the time. Because basically they want you to be quiet and leave him alone, and they just say yes so you won't do that. I mean, who knew?
Yeah, so you would have thought that he really liked everything, which not the case.
Well, he always smiled, but he had a good smile all the time. But let's go back to something else that you mentioned. Okay, well, I guess I mentioned it, about hospitals. So if somebody's in the hospital, do the hospitals recommend you, or how do you get involved there?
Often what the social workers will do is they'll call us or they'll give information to family members about our services and what we can offer. They usually recommend whether it's 24-hour care or just a few days a week. So they'll tell you exactly what kind of services they would recommend, and then they would contact us, and a lot of times we will go to the hospital, talk to the family member, recommend what we can do also, or our assessment, and then be ready to give services even within a 24-hour time frame, because a lot of times we all know the discharge can be a lot, last minute too, and so we'll be able to be there even to pick up that certain clients and take them home if need be also.
Oh, really? You could go to that extent. Well, and for people that are out of town, because like you mentioned, we talked about earlier, is a lot of folks are out of town.
Right. And they can't be there to take their loved one home, or a lot of times you have to stop and get prescriptions too. And so we're able to handle all of that. We can even help go beforehand, given permission by the family, and clean and make sure the laundry's done, things like that, so that the house is ready as well.
Yeah, exactly. Do you find that your caregivers, do you try and keep the same caregiver with the same person?
We do. Our main goal is to have just one or two caregivers, so there's consistency, so they know the routine. A lot of times you become like friends and family members, and so we want that bond. So we do try to keep it routine for both the caregivers and for the clients.
Okay, I think that's really an important bond. And I think, I mean, I can't imagine, because, my family's close here, to have your family so far away and to be able to find somebody that you can trust, and that trust is very, very important.
It is. And on that side also, we do a really strict interview process and background screening to make sure that everyone is qualified to go into the homes too, because it is a home environment, so you want to make sure that you're safe there as well.
That's right. I appreciate that. Hey, one more time before we go, phone number?
It's 317-774-1750.
And the website, easy enough?
Homeinstead.com.
All right. And our website is indyboomer.com. We will see you all next week and appreciate you joining us today. Have a great day. That'll do it.
Okay, well, thank you.